What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in this video, we are going to be looking at level 80 to level 99 for this upcoming PKA event. Now, this is definitely the most difficult PKA that we've had because of the fact that, you know, with the two debut legends, Uta and Fuji Kizaru, they basically want you to have both of these units on your team at the same time to get around the gimmicks. Typically, they don't do that. Typically, if they do have a double legend release, usually only one of the legends is really good in the PKA, like Robin Koala a few months back, and, you know, we had Law and Kid against the PKA last month, and then this month, it's like, you know, if you have both of them, yeah, it makes things a lot easier, but even if you only have one of them, there's still some sketchy things that you do have to get around. So today we're going to try and build an accessible team to get through the PKA level 80 to 99. So without further ado, let's get it started. So I'm still in that same process of farming turtles right now. Once I get all my turtle rewards, I'll be progressing into level 100 and above and try and build some teams for that. So I will be encountering both of the mini bosses in this video, and I'm going to be skipping those because you guys don't need to see that, and of course we'll move on after that. So we'll go ahead and take on these mini bosses. I guess we'll go ahead and land on Usopp, hopefully pick up a statue if one's available. We will take that because we want to increase the damage that our side characters are doing. We'll take on Maha here, and we'll take on Big Mom after that, and we'll be back once we have defeated both of these bosses. Alright, so we've taken down Big Mom now. Let's see what kind of rewards we're going to get. Alright, we'll take the ticket. I've actually used quite a lot of tickets recently, so I will take that. And we'll go for the favorites box. Try and stock up on more of those Saki. No Saki available, unfortunately. I will actually do the Rumble match, so I guess we can just go ahead and show off this real quick. I have been trialing out a shooter team, just trying to get things cooking here. Not really too sure how good this is, to be honest. I don't think shooters are even like still going to be that amazing. Obviously, I don't have Fuji and Kizaru yet, and eventually when I do get Fuji and Kizaru, I would like to trial them out in a shooter team because I do think they're actually going to be pretty solid. Because that's one of the things that shooters lack in Pirate Rumble is characters that can provide like huge damage. They don't really have that type of character. But Fuji and Kizaru, they provide a really good health cut, and I think they do damage as well. And shooters kind of lack that big, huge damage chunk removal, and I think that would kind of help them out. Kuzan's really good though, you know, the fact that he provides fixed damage, like a really good array of fixed damage. And here you go, Uta using her special, lowering our character's special CT so that when they do come up, they are launching specials. And if at any point you're inflicted with halved stats, then Uta actually provides additional buffs to the crew. But I believe it's like if Uta herself has the half stats. So if she's like the only character on your crew that has it, I believe you get the additional buffs. So like best case scenario, she's inflicted with it, and then she uses her special to give your whole crew like huge buffs so they do more damage. I still really like Ace on shooter teams because he does do a pretty sizable amount of damage. And then Chopper's there as like some support. I don't know, we'll have to iron out the kinks a little bit later on. We'll have to wait and see what other people in the community have cooking up for shooters, because I do believe a lot of people are probably going to use them in the upcoming Grand Party season, as, you know, shooters receive quite a lot of buffs during the season. Anyways, that is done. I guess we'll pick up the two scrolls, and I will go ahead and land on Gordon here to receive some additional drops. And then we'll go ahead and pick up the favorites chest, hopefully land on some Saki. We do, we take that. And we'll go ahead and move on. So let's go ahead and show off the team that we have sorted for today's video, a quote-unquote accessible team. So this is the team that we have. So we're going to be using Uta as our friend captain in this quest. And as for the subs, we do have a non-boosted character, which is this Frankie, but he's so good. He actually helps you get around just a couple of the gimmicks on stage 4 and one of the gimmicks on stage 5. Gordon is here because he just gives us a chain lock when we reach the last stage. Yamato helps us remove the resilience on the final stage. And then Whitebeard and Marco, a relatively high booster, and they'll help us deal with stage 4. And then the Luffy captain. Now Luffy's actually a surprise package because this character has a really interesting set of skills. Like, he has this crewmate ability that can resist 2 turns of special reverse. That's going to be pretty key, as well as having a special ability that can allow you to remove 6 turns of Rainbow Shield. So this is really, really nice, honestly. So we're going to be going ahead and showcasing that today. along with that Uta friend captain. As for the supports, we do have the Jozu attached to Whitebeard Marco. That is very important. It is a rare recruit character, same as the Hyogoro attached to Luffy. Hyogoro was available in the previous month's medal exchange, and I told you guys in that video, please pick it up. Like, Hyogoro is one of the most important characters in that entire medal exchange, so I really hope you guys did pick that up. Otherwise, you do have to find another way to remove an additional 2 turns of attack down. But one of the things that we do have to do is get our specials sorted, and this is a really bad start as everyone has such a really low cooldown. That's kind of bad for us. But at least we do have overhealing with Uta, and considering it's level 80, the mob characters really don't do that much damage at all. But as we said, the goal is to get our specials ready to go. We probably don't have to do that much stall, to be perfectly honest. And you know, the Luffy here, I believe he gives his captain ability gives a buff to strength units, but I think he still gives a buff to all characters as well. So he's just a solid unit to use as a captain, and that special is going to be kind of important. His super type will also become active, but the super type is not going to be important for us at all, so we don't really have to worry about that too much. It's just important that we get the specials ready when we need them. So the Luffy super type actually triggers when you have, I think it's like 2 straw hats or whatever on your team, or when you have 5 turns pass. So it's pretty cool that it can activate pretty easily. We are definitely overstalling here, but it's better to do it because, you know, just in case, you know, just in case. I want to make sure the team actually works, you know. And another thing is that we will be utilizing a strategy when we reach stage 4, and we'll talk about that more once we get there. So we'll go ahead and kill this guy, and we're definitely overstalling here at this point, but it's okay. We'll just go ahead and move on. And keep the matching slots on the top 4 characters, on the top 2 rows, because when we reach stage 3 against Yasop, he's going to blow away our bottom row, so they're not going to be accessible until we reach the final stage. Of course, once you get past level 99, then the blow away is actually for 3 turns, and we're going to have to try and figure out strategies to get around that a bit more effectively. First things first, though, let's go ahead and use the Uta special. I actually haven't had a good look at this special animation in its entirety. I currently am not listening to the audio. It would have been cool if they played the actual song during the special animation. Oh, that'd be amazing. But the animation of it is actually very good. Considering it's not a Super Sugo Fest exclusive, they did a very good job with it. So this is going to allow us to have this turn progress effect, which means that at the start of every turn, that it's going to remove special bind, which is something that we're going to have to deal with on stage 4 and stage 5. And we also have this attack boost that we'll get on this turn, and we'll also get it in the next turn, which is going to be pretty good. But from here, we just need a tandem slot to break that barrier, which luckily Uta gives us, and then we can move on to the next stage. Now, moving on to the next stage, this is where things are going to get a little bit tricky. So what happens is Lucky Roo has an ability that will switch out your captain with one of your crewmates. So what we want to happen is we want Marco and Whitebeard to be the character to receive the captain swap. So what we can do is if we see it's the wrong character, so we could just go ahead and stop the game here, and we could exit the game, restart the game, and that would actually allow us to make sure that Whitebeard and Marco are the guaranteed character to be switched. In this case, we got a bit lucky and that they were targeted for the switch, but basically if Frankie is the target for the switch, we want to actually reset the game at that point, and it would allow us to make sure that Whitebeard and Marco are the guaranteed character. But from here, what happened is you also are inflicted with 1 turn of special reverse, and Luffy as a crewmate resists special reverse, as does the Frankie. So we'll go ahead and use the special of Luffy here. Unfortunately, it's a really bad special animation, but it removes the rainbow shield for us. And then Uta also gives us the attack boost, which is solid, and the support of Jozu removes attack down, and then that Hyogoro support removes attack down. We'll go ahead and switch into Whitebeard. It's important that you switch before you use the Frankie special, because Frankie only gives cooldown to characters that are either Dex or Sai. So if Whitebeard and Marco are in the Marco form, then he won't receive cooldown. And also it is important to switch too, because Whitebeard and Marco, when they switch, will treat recovery slots as beneficial. So it's actually kind of important that we do that. And then we can use the special of Whitebeard and Marco, which is going to give us a base attack boost. It's going to give us damage reduction. It's going to change our block slots around. And because we switched and they're in the captain position, they will make all the slots that they give us beneficial in their dual form, which is pretty good for us. And from this point on, we should have more than enough damage to get through. We have the Uta super type for the final stage. So let's go ahead and kill these guys with our normal attacks. And especially because Frankie also gave us a chain lock for that stage too, which is really, really great. And then we have Shanks, the final boss. So we now have our final 2 crewmates on the bottom row are now back for us. So That's great that we have them. Special Bind and Despair. Uta deals with the Despair. She'll also deal with the Special Bind with her turn progress effect. We can activate that Super Type, which is going to go ahead and delay the enemy for 1 turn through immunity buffs. So that gives the conditional boost for our crew. We can disable the Captain switch, but why bid a marker or a better Captain for us anyway, so we're going to keep them there. We'll go ahead and use the Yamato special, which is going to remove the enemy's resilience and change the middle row into Wano. And then we can use the special ability of Gordon, which, while it does allow us to choose 1 character and reduce its cooldown by 2 turns, doesn't really matter who you select. It's the fact that it provides us with a chain lock. And with all of this activated, we should have more than enough damage to comfortably kill if you actually hit your perfects properly. And then, of course, you're also dealt with some damage, but Yamato Special also gave us some damage reduction to tank the hit. So, a pretty cool team, relatively accessible, if I do say so myself. A pretty good team that was able to, beat the content, and this can beat it up until level 99. Of course, once you get to level 100, the gimmicks are increased, it becomes a lot more difficult. But you just have a look at the amount of drops that you get from this. This was with the Gordon buff as well, so you do get an extra bit of rewards there, as we land 310 turtles now, which is great. But there we go. That's a relatively accessible team to get through the content with. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.